It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports, Pete.
Get ready for epic savings at Best Buy. Right now, you can save up to $700 on select Alienware and Dell gaming products. Perfect for leveling up your gaming experience. Plus, grab the latest Android Google Pixel at an unbeatable price. Don't miss these incredible deals. Shop now at bestbuy.com and upgrade your tech today.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry-first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
At Rolls Rolo, we don't just sell wallpaper, we create cohesive, cozy spaces. Our deep understanding of design means every pattern, color, and texture is carefully chosen to complement your home. Plus, we use advanced technology and water-based inks for vibrant, eco-friendly prints, ensuring a healthier environment. Visit rollsrolla.com to transform your space today. That's ROLLSROLLA.com today. At 25 Home, our ultimate goal is to provide you with a transformative experience, making each day feel like it has an extra hour. We believe your home is more than just a space, it's a sanctuary where comfort, relaxation, and happiness thrive. Discover the difference at 25 Home today. Shop now at 25home.com.
The Pete Sousa Show, presented by Slovacics. We are back, better than ever. By the way, happy 1 year anniversary to everybody. We've been at this for over a year now. Yeah, Swingler though, we really didn't get started until he got his ass up here. Scotty Swingler on the wheels of steel today. The Pete Sousa Show, presented by Slovacics. A lot to get into today. We're talking Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter Pro Day. Or what do they call it? Like Showcase Day out there in Colorado. We will get into that. I have a lot of thoughts on that. Next week, we're going to be joined by Todd McShay, trying to figure out a day. McShay from The Ringer and formerly of ESPN, and my man Steve Minch, two guys I went to Richmond with. And McShay and I we could say we played football, but we were both injured. Minch did play all 4 years, but we were all thick as thieves And we all did work together back in the day at Football Scouts in the War Room. So I'm pumped to bring the band back together. Last year, we talked with Jim Nagy, who also was with us at Football Scouts. Nagy, now the general manager at Oklahoma. Maybe I'll reach out, see if we can get him before the draft, but I don't know what his situation is like that now. You know, when he was with the Senior Bowl, he could comment on all the prospects. I'm sure he can now. We'll check him out. But yeah, we'll talk about Pro Day. We'll start with that, but a couple other things. We got Nick Pick talking about Major League Baseball, some torpedo bat stuff. Also, the Yankees. I think Aaron Judge plays his 1,000th game tonight. Nick is a diehard Yankees fan, been on that beat for a while, so we'll get his baseball thoughts. And also want to talk about a rough ending in the NIT. John Morant can't seem to get it, and I don't know what is happening there. Of course, well, not of course, but I do want to talk a little bit about this dude, Calvin Darden, who just got sentenced to 12 years. He scammed Chandler Parsons and Dwight Howard. He scammed Dwight Howard out of $7 million. And this dude's going to prison for a long time. But I want to start with, like I said, Shadur Sanders and what's going on out there today. As far as out there in Boulder today at their showcase day, as far as what is going on with the draft, the top of the draft, a lot of folks feel like Cam Ward is going to go number one. That's just kind of it with Tennessee. Tennessee has done nothing to improve their situation at quarterback. And you listen to Dan Graziano, you listen to McShay, you listen to folks who are not only this is their job to cover the draft, but also they're sourced up. And it really does seem like Cam Ward is going number one. Now, I'm not like a draft expert. On paper, eye test, I don't love it. I heard a report yesterday. This guy Schultz, who covers the Giants, was on Mad Dog Russo, and he said, we go deep on these guys, right? Because you're putting millions upon millions upon millions of dollars behind them. And with a guy like Cam Ward, there's rumors. It reminds me of draft day with Kevin Costner that like not everybody loved him at every stop he was at. Remember, Cam Ward started at Incarnate Word, and just finished up at Miami after shattering records. Shadur Sanders will throw today. Obviously, it's going to be super scripted, which is how these pro days go. The Giants are there at number 3, and as far as Shadur is concerned, that's where apparently things get really interesting, right? Cleveland is at 2. The thought is that Ward would go 1, potentially Hunter at 2, because the Browns like the idea not only of him playing wide receiver, but also playing defensive back, being able to be impactful on both sides of the ball right away. That is almost like a steal if you think about it, because, in the NFL, having a lockdown corner or just a really good corner is essential to being able to do what you want to do on the defensive side of the football. And then you think, okay, we've got opportunities with him as an explosive playmaker at wide receiver, like we're seeing right here. And also maybe you want to throw him in a kick returner. There's a lot that Travis Hunter brings you, and he also brings you an amazing attitude. All reports are like the dude doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't party. Good-natured dude, plays video games and kicks ass at football. I can get with that. And then you go to 3 with Shadur, where things get so interesting. Again, the more research you do, looking at Shadur Sanders, and I'm not going to sit here and say I sit here and look at tape. McShay does. That's where Todd and I wanted to go out and party in New York City when we lived together and we were working for Football Scouts in the War Room, and he wanted to party a little bit, but then the next day he was up watching tape on, Drew Brees at the time or whoever. And that's what Todd does, and he's brilliant at it. And so are a lot of these other guys, especially guys in NFL front offices. Now, there's stuff you hear about Shadur, like after the combine, right? He was aloof, maybe. Wasn't necessarily dialed in some of the interview situations. In the media session, he sits down and looks at the camera. And it's funny, like, I don't know Shadur Sanders, but working on Inside the 12 all year long, covering the Big 12. And then, talking to Kevin Borba out there in Colorado. I've been to Boulder, called 3 basketball games out there. You have the opportunity to speak with people who are close to the athletic department and Everybody loves Shedeur Sanders. Truly, I mean, he's a kid, and he's a kid with a lot of resources, right? Coming from a family like that. Most kids that I grew up with that had fathers that were multimillionaires, you were dancing on the edge there. I mean, it was 50-50 whether this guy's going to be a complete asshole because he's grown up in an environment that's just so much different than the rest of ours. I think Shedeur Sanders has beaten that temptation and that problem and that sense of entitlement. And the folks that know him best really seem to like him. Now he sits down at the combine for his media session and he looks right in the camera and he says, legendary. And then he just starts. I think a lot of writers are like, what? But that's who the dude is. Now, there's, again, like social media, right? Which shouldn't even be social media. I was thinking yesterday, it should be like anti-social media because people sit in their houses or apartments or wherever they live all day and don't go anywhere because they think they're being connected by looking through social media. It's actually anti-social. But if you look on social media and you hear a lot of reports and rumors coming out of that combine situation, was that Shedeur was, not as necessarily attentive or respectful or whatever the report was. We weren't in the room, and I certainly haven't heard an NFL official or somebody who was in the room go on record saying it was like a disaster. It was comments that were made to McShay that McShay, as any good draft analyst would do, shared them with us. That's what we hope he'll do. That's why we subscribe to these guys and follow these guys, because they have access that we don't have. And they also have skills that we don't have as far as like watching film and breaking down players. But the Giants are probably not going to take Shedeur Sanders at number 3 because they just don't like him as a player. It's got nothing to do with him as a dude. Brian Daboll isn't going to the workout today, the Giants head coach. Joe Shane will be there, their general manager, and like a bunch of scouts and front office dudes. Remember, there's 18 guys working out today in Boulder. So it's not just like, hey, a one-stop shop. We're here to see Travis, or a two-stop shop, Travis and Shedeur. And if you do go today, you're not necessarily going to see, again, this is access that people don't have all the time. You're going to see how Shedeur Sanders handles the day as a dude. Like, what's his body language like? How is he treating the people around him? Like, these are, I mean, you can overanalyze all this stuff, but that's truly why a lot of these scouts and front office folks are going today and what they are going to be looking for. One thing I hear in Dan Graziano talk, and just watching him this year, he was a tough guy to evaluate. And Graziano echoed that this morning because of a lot of stuff. Let's start with the first one. Colorado's offensive line was awful. I mean, they got better this year. 2 years ago, it was probably one of the worst in like a Power 4, Power 5 conference. And it's really hard to evaluate a player who's constantly running for his life and picking himself up off the ground. It is also difficult to evaluate a guy whose passing game is so short so often. Like, a lot of times, Colorado's offense was such that he's throwing into the line of scrimmage or just beyond the line of scrimmage. What people want to see is how the ball can explode off of his hand for those deep passes, right? That deep, they call it like the 7 route or the 9 route, right? The 7 route. 9 route's just like a fly pattern. But, that long post, that long out pattern, right? Or the flag or whatever. My football terminology is lacking today. But you get the picture, right? Can he make all the difficult throws? Can he do it explosively? Apparently, people say that his vision is like elite, like all pro. His vision down the field, and really, I can say by watching all the games, almost all the games he played at Colorado, and also, tracking the aftermath of those games because getting ready for that Inside the 12 show for the Big 12. He had a great attitude. Like, even after he was getting his ass kicked, he was still able to pick himself up off the ground and really didn't give his, every quarterback on the field of battle is going to be a leader, be a little bit surly, right? Like, I'm not saying like you got to be Dan Marino, but there's a little bit in between where it's like there's a Tom Brady, right? Who's like the GOAT, but hey, let's keep guys accountable, make that block, but you don't embarrass him. So Shedeur was never embarrassing guys. And in a situation where if he was somebody that was like an empty guy in a uniform and was just looking to shrug accountability and blame everybody else. He had many, many, many opportunities to do so. So every once in a while, if he was frustrated, picking himself up off the ground and like, yo, what the F, to an offensive lineman, like, I'm fine with that. Like, we got human nature going on here, right? There's frustration. I think a great example, and this one hits close to home for us here in Central Texas and Baylor fans, certainly does for Scotty. That football game early in the season against Baylor, Baylor was kicking his ass, right? And then they get in that victory cigar formation against Colorado. Baylor has the lead. They're on the road at Boulder. At the time, I think it was it week 3, Scotty? I think it was week 4. Baylor was 2-1 at the time. So Baylor's looking at an opportunity to go 3-1 early in the year. And my huge take on this was that Garmin Randolph was hurt and he was out of the game. He had gotten injured during the game. And if Garmin Randolph was in the game, and when Baylor goes to that cigar formation where, it's like, we're just going to stop the Hail Mary because they're going to go down the field. Shedeur rolls out and there's not a defensive lineman who's quick enough or athletic enough to keep him in the pocket or make the play or hurry his throw. So Shedeur has all day to roll out to the left side and throws it all the way down the field. Here it is. Scotty Swingler's on it, dude. And there's the touchdown, right? Like, amazing play. And I think one of the reasons that enabled Shedeur Sanders to make a play like that was because of his will to win, his moxie, his belief in himself. It's like that next level competitive nature that I think makes him so alluring to scouts, because the average quarterback with the average mindset, right? He's obviously, there's nothing average about Shedeur Sanders, but if his headspace was one that he could go in the tank easily, he's not going to have, he's just not going to be able to make a play like that late in the game after he's been getting his ass kicked. Scotty, what do you got? I could tell Scotty's ready to go here.
Well, let me turn my microphone on. I just like talking football, man. And I have opinions about Big 12 and quarterbacks. And one of my favorite things to do actually every year in the NFL draft is decide which quarterbacks are going to succeed and not. So like, for instance, I was very down on Caleb Williams. I'd seen him play against Baylor and throw for like 70 yards against a Matt Rule defense. And so, Dave Aranda, I forget 21. Yeah, Dave Aranda. But anyway, I think 2 things to consider about Shedeur. One is that this quarterback class is the weakest in a very long time. And that's not a knock on him, but it's just to say that, like, even 3-4 months ago, a lot of what we were hearing is, Shedeur in other years would be a 2nd, 3rd round grade. But this year he's one of the 2 best. And that's obvious. That's clear. So it's like, are you overdrafting him and Cam Ward in the top 10? There's arguments to be made, because if you need a quarterback, you need a quarterback. But I think that still stands. Like, I think I watch him and I think that's like a 2nd round pick. And he's going to go like 2nd to 5th overall, somewhere in there. I think you said there's nothing average about Shedeur, and I think mentally I would agree with you. I think questions about his arm strength are really legit. Like, even in that highlight package I was putting together this morning, the deep throws look like they're taking effort. Like, he reminds me of Mahomes and some of the way you said vision. That's good. Like, the way he sees things, the way he can escape. Like, he's very crafty. But the difference is Mahomes could throw it like 70 yards with his feet planted. Like, I don't think Shedeur has that level arm talent. It's going to be interesting. I also wonder, because he has made, you mentioned this at the very beginning, a couple comments over the years where it's almost that very blurry gray line between confident and cocky. Yeah. I just wonder if he doesn't get lit up for a couple weeks, especially if he doesn't go to a good team. Like, can he elevate a Cleveland Browns to be competitive? I don't think so. That doesn't mean he's a bad NFL quarterback. It's going to be very honestly, fascinating to watch.
I honestly think one of the best case scenarios for him will be to get drafted by the Giants and sit behind Russell Wilson.
I do too.
I think that will be like a tremendous. Even Troy Aikman sat behind Steve Walsh for a little bit. Like,
well, we just brought up Patrick Mahomes. Like, and Mahomes has talked about how valuable it was to sit behind Alex Smith.
And I just think really it's for peace of mind. Like, a lot of times, like, these guys, we throw them to the wolves and they get shattered mentally. Yeah. And like, there's just no coming back from that. You can go all the way back to a guy who was, again, mentally, he would tell you nowadays, he just wasn't all there but like Achilles Smith.
Mm.
He got taken by the Bengals and just thrust into a starting lineup in one of the worst organizations in football. That guy's career was over before it started because of how bad the Bengals were and how terrible he was to start. And the combination can just completely destroy you, right?
Totally.
As far as your confidence is concerned.
Totally. I mean, people have argued around Waco that that's Robert Griffin's problem. He got thrust into a dysfunctional organization with the worst owner in the NFL, and they put him on the field when he shouldn't have been on the field.
So when they had him come back to
yeah. And now I know RG3, he wanted to play. So like I don't want to just but the Russell Wilson thing's interesting because I think those are very similar players.
Yeah.
Remember, Russell Wilson was a third-round pick, right? Third-round pick. And similar things of like, he's very mobile. He can get away from pressure, good vision, good intelligence, savvy, right? But there were questions about his arm strength coming into the league. That was a critique of him. So and he's won a Super Bowl. So like that competitive edge.
Well, that's another thing. And I think we get so hung up on a body type, physical tools. I mean, of course, right? We're talking about the freaking NFL. You've got to be next level athlete to be even considered to play in that league, right? When you look at the numbers game across the human race. However, like there are guys who can do it ugly. And it's and there is that, like Patrick Mahomes is weird looking. The way that
nobody's ever played the position like him.
No, his build, his arm strength, the way his point of release, like, but he's got that. He's got that special thing. And about Shador, I always say this, and he's another guy, right, that I put in my Mount Rushmore of players of famous parents that were in the NFL. Like Shador is not afraid of the biggest stage
spotlight.
Yes. And some other and players that don't, and it's because of the access he was granted as a young man, being around his dad, being around locker rooms. I always say the same thing for Steph Curry. We could say it for Pat Mahomes with his dad. I think there's something to that.
Totally agree. Another guy, you were talking about unconventional looking. I'm still convinced this guy didn't get a fair shake, but people forget Vince Young won Rookie of the Year and took two different Titans teams that were like 0-5 to the playoffs.
Yes.
Like he wasn't a super long-term NFL quarterback for about 5 years. Vince Young was a really good NFL quarterback. And his release was whack. So all that stuff I think is overblown. I think the questions about his arm strength are legit. And I think questions of how I think fit is really important. Yeah. And I think fit is more important for most quarterbacks than we think. Like Patrick Mahomes is amazing.
Yeah.
He also landed with Andy Reid.
Yeah. Yep.
That is the dream 1-2 combo, the right quarterback with the wrong coach can end up being the wrong quarterback quickly. Like I think we've seen that throughout
That's well put.
the draft process as well.
That is well put. And as far as the theater of the draft is concerned, if Shador doesn't go third or by the third pick, which he very likely could not, now you're talking, it gets so like
I don't think he will, by the way.
No, so then it goes back to the conversation we had here months ago. It's like, the dude may not get picked in the first round. Like it's a possibility. And it's possible.
I don't think so.
The odds are not in its favor, but it's possible. Now, and imagine that happens. It would be crazy. What the Raiders did with what's his face, just re-upping with from West Virginia, Geno Smith. By the way, as a guy who like pulls for the Raiders, I'm very open about that here. Like, I'm like, what, dude? Like, that's not the answer.
He's played very well the last 2 seasons.
Whatever, it's not the answer. But it shows that Geno's not gonna like the Raiders won't take him more than likely.
Pete, I'm gonna tell you right now why he won't get out of the first round.
Why?
Because if the Cowboys are picking,
oh gosh,
no, tell me I'm wrong. If the Cowboys' first round pick comes up and Shador Sanders is on the board, my camera just went out. I got too excited about the Dallas Cowboys. StreamYard said enough. Jerry Jones will not be able to resist. I promise. I would put.
When did the Cowboys pick? They're like what? 16 or something like that?
20 something.
20 something.
I could because we were bad this year.
How the hell are they picking 21st?
Dallas Cowboys first round.
All right, and then we'll take a break.
Let's
and then
look it up.
Nick Pick coming up talking Major League Baseball.
12 overall.
Oh, 12th overall. Okay, so yeah.
Okay, listen.
We should have known that, by the way.
So we should have. Listen, he's not getting past 12. I would put $1 million on it.
All right, $1 million on him not going past 12. 1,000 games for Aaron Judge. Nick picked in the bullpen. The Pete Sousa Show presented by Slovacics. Coming up, talking a little baseball next, and then we'll wrap up later in the show. I got to get into this John Moran stuff. What's going on with that young guy? And what I just don't get it. I want to show you the end of a basketball game that could affect a young man for the rest of his life, but I hope it doesn't. We'll be back.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at a stop. I thought I was fine, and then once I got home, I realized it's a lot worse than I thought. I ended up having a ruptured disc. You say you're not hurting, and then an hour later, you're saying you're in all this pain. I just felt like most people would think that I was lying. That's when I decided to call Daniel Stark. I owe a lot to Daniel Stark. They really got me what I deserved.
The difference is stark.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. Unlock a world of convenience with Mullybox, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your taste. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. Unlock your full potential with Onnit, your go-to for premium supplements, fitness gear, and wellness essentials. Whether you're training hard, recovering faster, or just looking to feel your best, Onnit has the tools you need to perform at your peak. Visit Onnit, that's ONNIT.com, and elevate your mind, body, and spirit today. At Rolls Rolla, we don't just sell wallpaper, we create cohesive, cozy spaces. Our deep understanding of design means every pattern, color, and texture is carefully chosen to complement your home. Plus, we use advanced technology and water-based inks for vibrant, eco-friendly prints, ensuring a healthier environment. Visit rollsrolla.com to transform your space today. That's ROLLSROLLA.com today. At Toussaint's, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Toussaint's.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry-first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
Calling all Marvel fans, get Marvel Unlimited and unlock over 30,000 comics featuring your favorite heroes and iconic stories, all available to read anytime, anywhere. Whether you're into classic tales or the latest adventures, there's something for everyone. Don't miss out. Head to marvel.com/unlimited today and start your Marvel journey now.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Hey, Nikki P.
Hey,
What's up, buddy? How's it going?
nothing. Today's work from home day in the Picked household.
I can tell.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
I tell you who's not chilling.
Talk to me.
The Atlanta Braves, dude.
Dude.
0-7.
Yikes.
You know, you send me a rundown of what you want to talk about, but that's one of the things that just jumps out and grabs me when I
Yeah.
look at the standings and I'm perusing what's going on with Major League Baseball. Why are the Braves 0-7?
I mean, it's a combination of a lot of things. They are not healthy. Obviously, Ronald Acuna is not there. Spencer Strider, their best pitcher, is not there. They kind of have run into some bad luck a little bit. I mean, to lose 7 in a row in the big leagues, you got to run into a little bit of bad luck. And they're not hitting. I mean, they're just really just not hitting. Austin Riley has said how bad he's been. I think he said something the other day about like, this is an unacceptable start from somebody like me. It is. Matt Olson's been okay, nothing great. Michael Harris been okay, nothing great, and they've not gotten the contributions that they're used to getting. You don't realize, dude, or I think a lot of people don't realize how one player can really make such an impact too. Like Ronald Acuna in that lineup just lengthens your lineup by one person, and in a team of 9, one giant all-star MVP type of piece. I mean, God, just makes the world a difference, and they're not going to have Acuna probably for a couple more weeks.
0-7, is that something that you feel like they can rebound from, or when does the hole get too deep?
If they were in the NL West, it'd be too deep already. You can't be 7 games behind the Dodgers. You're toast. It's just you can't make 7 games up against that team. But luckily, they have 155 more games to play, and the NL East will sabotage each other a little bit. The Mets are good. The Phillies are good. The Braves should be good. The Marlins have clearly punched above what we thought they were capable of again for the first 2 weeks, but still the Nats will be competitive too. So they'll steal some wins. But I mean, if you thought the Braves were going to have, a 95 win season, that's not happening anymore. So now we got to look at, can we win 85 to 89 games and sneak it in somewhere? That's the problem though, is because the NL is going to be bunched up pretty good by a lot of teams that are right in that caliber altogether. So, luckily, the division is not going to pull super far ahead, but the wild card race is going to be tight, dude.
Biggest story right now in Major League Baseball?
There are 2. One, I mean, no one will shut up about the torpedo bats. It's driving me nuts, but it's obviously the biggest story nationwide. Second thing is the Dodgers are so good. So good.
And now one of them seems to be real and the other could be complete BS, right? Like the Dodgers really are so good.
Yes, they're amazing.
We know that. It's proven. They're the defending champs. Bobblehead night, Ohtani with the walk-off. It's like, come on, get out of here with this. I mean, it's in Hollywood, but do we need a better script right now? I mean, really, it's amazing. But the torpedo,
and it's so good because everyone hate. If you don't love them, you hate them. So it's like, yes, like we got the either the hero or the villain, whatever card you want to play.
Do the Dodgers have a chance to be the best team of all time, record-wise?
Absolutely.
They do?
Yes.
What is that number, Mark? Do you know off the top of your head?
The Yankees won 125 with the playoffs combined in 98.
Okay. Yeah, that was when they swept I was a senior
Padres.
in college. They swept the Padres.
Yes.
And Ken Caminiti, God rest his soul.
But for the regular season, for the Reggie, Seattle has the record for 116. It was either 01 or 02, either Ichiro's rookie year or his second year. I forget which one it was.
Okay.
Yes.
Torpedo bats. Let's get to the torpedo bats. You're a Yankees fan. It's all anybody wanted to talk about.
It's insane.
And it is, dude. Honestly, man, I'm not in the weeds with it like you are with baseball. I don't know as much, and I'm not as dialed into the game. But it certainly smells like garbage. Like these bats are different. Guys are hitting the crap out of the ball. What gives?
I don't know. I think it smells like garbage because it's something that somebody can attach like a headline to. Dude, the Brewers, I mean, okay, deep in the weeds, right? Yankees win 4-1 on opening day. Freddie Peralta's a very good pitcher. Yanks played a better game and won. If you watch baseball and you watch enough Yankee baseball like I do, you know that Nestor Cortez was going up there throwing that horseshit ball. Literally. That was 86, 87 cutter with no cut. And he just got teed off on. Also, the Yankees know Nestor Cortez better than any other team in the big leagues. And they play in a small stadium where the minute you get a hold of a ball, if you hit it to right field, it's going to go. Like, I don't think the torpedo bat is what made the Yankees tee off against Nestor Cortez. I also think that the Brewers gave up a jillion runs to somebody else, to the Royals, I think, the first game that they played. right after the Yankee series. Like the Brewers are not like don't look very good. So that's part of it. But I think it's just like a storyline that we want to attach ourselves to because everyone's looking for something that's headline grabbing, eye catching to find some sort of difference. Giancarlo Stanton used these all last year. Guys have been using these. Cody Bellinger said that the Cubs had him try a few things out last year or in 2023. Like
Stanton used the bat all last year.
Yes, dude. Yes. This is the biggest non-story ever.
I didn't know that.
And like, if you just think about it, all you do is just move some weight from the top of the bat towards the handle and fatten out the sweet spot. Like, why would any major league hitter want to hit the ball off the end of their bat? So remove it. And if you're a pitcher that can throw that sinker or that changeup away, God bless the hitters try to hit that, Okay, you've got an advantage. But you want to
great.
But if you're a left-handed pitcher, you want to cut that ball into a right-hander's hands. Yeah, cut it into my hands. I'm gonna hit it off the handle for because the weight has been shifted. I'm gonna hit it for a home run. Okay. I think it's such a non-story.
Somebody who's not really hitting it all right now is Rafael Devers, and
oh my God.
You feel like it's because he's grossly out of shape.
I think.
In fact, the message I got from you this morning is Devers is fat.
He is. Come on, don't put me out there.
No,
for our thousands of viewers.
He is, dude. First of all, he's out of shape. There's a guy who I got to get you guys together, Cam Stewart, who does the show after mine. I was
listening to his hunger strike from 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, Cam went on a hunger strike. How ironic, because this guy's so fat. But is that something that could really bog the Red Sox down, like this dude being out of shape? Again, we talk about you get out of the gate slow. Yeah, of course, it's not going to completely torpedo, no pun intended, your whole season.
Nice.
But it can really hurt you postseason wise and down the stretch. And right now, let's take a look. So the Red Sox are 3-4. I mean, they're supposed to be one of the better teams in the league. Obviously, you can bounce back from that. But do you think this Devers thing has legs? Where will he not be able to find his footing all year long?
The Devers thing only has legs if he doesn't find his footing all year long. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because then you do the snowball and then jackasses like us continue to talk about it when we really in reality have no idea what's going on. We just make our best guesses. But like for a guy who, was clearly hurt last year, his shoulders were an issue. And so they told him not to swing a bat for most of winter, right? So that'll set you back with your swing, but also physically, it looks like he probably didn't do much physically in the winter. And so that's tough. Then you go into the whole psychological aspect of it where like the Red Sox maybe they didn't tell him, maybe they did, that they were going to sign Alex Bregman. And then they were like, yeah, well, Alex Bregman's going to play second. And then they thought about it and were like, yeah, we need to put the Gold Glove third baseman at third base. And I don't know what the communication was there. So there's that. And there are some guys that just can't DH, Pete. Like DHing for them gives them more time to think about how they failed or harp on the fact of what's going wrong instead of getting back into the field, making a play. Oh, nice. I made a nice scoop, made a nice throw to first. All right. My mind is like recalibrated. And then the third part of it, which is also probably psychological, is that he is struggling. And that picture of Jason Varitek, like holding him after that one game. I mean, God, it's 4 games in, dude. Like, and you could tell the weight of the world is on his shoulders.
Yeah. Do you think it will be better for him? I mean, it sounds like you do. What is it? His position is third base, right? Third or shortstop. So,
but you got to also know that Rafael Devers is like statistically the worst defensive third baseman in baseball over the past 2 or 3 years.
Do you think it's a situation where he'll end up going back to being a positional player every day to get in the rhythm?
I think you kind of have to at least think about it.
Yeah.
But the other problem is that they moved Alex Bregman to third base to make way for a 21 or 22-year-old rookie in Christian Campbell, who can really pick it at second and is knocking the shit out of the ball right now. So, like, do you pull Campbell out of the lineup to get Rafi going to move Bregman over to second? Do you pull the guy you just signed in free agency out of the field to get Rafi a day in the field? Like, how do the pieces mix together? Now, Alex Cora is a smart manager, and he'll figure it out. But I think it's definitely on the table. Why not, right? Like, get him feeling part of the game. That's smart.
Well, look, you take the time to talk to me, and I love you like a brother. So I'm going to give you a little bit of time here to wax poetic about your boyfriend, Aaron Judge. playing his
Thank you.
1,000th game tonight against
he
the
is.
Pirates. By the way, good news for the Pirates because this will probably be the last game of the season they got people in the stands for, the last series at least. And so what's going on in Pittsburgh is a disgrace.
An absolute,
Their owner doesn't care. They're not signing
unabided
anybody.
disaster.
I grew up before my time, that was a storied organization. And then there was a time in the early 90s where with Jim Leland and Barry Bonds and Bobby Bonilla, Doug Drabeck, Andy Van Slyke, they were amazing, right? Now they just suck on fire. So forget about the Pirates. I mean, that's a fool's errand to even talk about them. But Aaron Judge playing in his 1,000th game tonight. What does he mean to the game?
I think Aaron Judge is the best player we've seen since Barry Bonds, and or the best, maybe the best hitter we've seen since Barry Bonds, and I don't think it's particularly close. I know he doesn't or has had problems in the playoffs, and he hasn't won a World Series. And the one thing that would move Aaron Judge into like the pantheon would be to win a World Series. But from a standpoint of, okay, I've got it all here for you because I got to back up my own like emotions with facts.
By the way, because I got Scotty Swingler over here who's ready to join this conversation. So go ahead.
In his career, in his 1,000 games or 999 games, 289 batting average, 406 career on base, 608 career slugging percentage. So his career OPS, for those people who don't know, that's on base plus slugging, almost like the best cumulative characteristic of a hitter is over 1,000. So 1.0 OPS, 320 homers, which is the fastest player to get to that number in 1,000 games.
The fastest of all time.
Yes. He has more home runs than, so it's 320. The next guy is Ryan Howard, your boy, 279 in their first 1,000 games. So he's 41 ahead of the next guy in terms of home runs hit in his career up to 1,000 games. He has 174 WRC plus, which is weighted runs created, which is like a cumulative number of how good a player is compared to the average player. 100 would be average. Judge is 74 points higher than the average player. And he has a career 52.2 WAR, which like 55-ish is Hall of Fame worthy. In his first 1,000 games, Bonds is the only better player ever.
Scotty, who do you think? I mean, just go ahead and join it. We're not trying to make this inflammatory, but it isn't. Let's embrace the little debate here. Nick, Scotty Swingler. Scotty is like, I don't want to say he vehemently is opposed, but what do you?
That's just a big statement. Like Barry Bonds played a long time ago at this point. And I think my initial reaction, I was looking at stats as Nick was talking. I really I know this player is complicated. I think it's really hard for me to put anyone above Alex Rodriguez.
Oh, totally fair. Totally fair.
Yeah.
Totally
so that's the name that came to my mind immediately when he said best hitter. I was like, wait, A-Rod literally played for the Yankees in that time. You know,
that's fair.
Rangers fan here. So I had three, and I was like 10 years old as he played for the Texas Rangers. So it was like perfect timing for me to fall in love with it. But
I'll tell you, but A-Rod had the similar problem that Judge had for a really long time, is that like in the playoffs, he shit his pants.
That's true.
And that was something that like in 2009, he got over, and it was like, boom, okay, now we can talk about how truly great Alex Rodriguez is. The only other guy that I would really think of that is in this category, and he's a recent guy, would be like the first 10 years of Albert Pujols'
I was going to say Pujols too. Yeah, that was my next thought.
And Pujols did it in the playoffs, even as a young guy, like even back as far as 2004. So he had 2004, he had when they lost to the Red Sox, but he had 2006, and then they were back there all those years. Like Albert Pujols' decade of dominance was pretty nuts in St. Louis before his foot really screwed him up.
We got to be careful here around Swingler because he's like the like Stephen A. Smith. He will go.
My gosh, stop
he
it.
will go. He can be bombastic. Like,
for real? I love
it. Remember Nicole Cross? She could be.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah, that was our girl. Yeah. Scotty can be a little bombastic.
Dude, how about Stephen A. getting in LeBron James's face? What an utter disaster that was. Like, are you kidding me? I think we talked about that last week. I just can't get out of my brain. It's just absurd.
I love Stephen A. And that situation was just bizarre enough where I was like, okay, I'm interested. I was talking about it here. It's super weird, but it's super compelling. But then when he said if LeBron had touched him, that he would have swung on him right away.
Dude, you're like 60. Shut up.
It's like, come on, dude. Like that to me
How
is
old
like
is Stephen A. Smith?
he's got to be close to 60.
Listen,
okay.
he's out of his mind. That's the evidence he's insane. Is nobody swings
57.
on LeBron James.
57. Yeah, like
That
could you
dude
imagine?
would destroy you.
Did you guys see there was a fight in an airport with the guy who played at Georgia and then transferred to Lamar. He was a DB, had a cup of coffee in the NFL. He was at Newark Airport a couple years ago. I forget the guy's name. You guys can look it up. He was at a United Airports, a United Airlines worker. Did you see this footage? Challenges this dude to a fight. Sucker punches this guy who played in the NFL, right? The dude annihilates him. Now, this is a guy who had a cup This is a guy who had a cup of coffee in the NFL. Like, you just don't I think we forget how supremely talented and equipped these guys are to annihilate the rest of us. Nick, Scotty, can you pull that up real quick?
Yeah. It's what's his face? Hold on, I got it right here. I'm on my computer today. Langley,
ugly,
Brendan Langley.
Brandon Langley. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was wild. Can we throw that up on the video real quick, Scotty? Scotty's working on that. All right.
Yeah.
I got one more thing I want to ask you about, Nick, and
Go
I'm
ahead,
putting you on
go
the
ahead.
spot because I want to make this part of your Friday spots.
Sure.
I know it's difficult for you to do right now because, again, we're right in the moment. Can you give us a prop bet for the weekend that folks can cash in on?
Oh,
do you have one right now?
No, I don't. But
well, that's good. That shows
you,
you're legit.
That
shows you're legit.
No, because that's on the spot, and I really have to think about it.
Yeah.
I think I can give you definitely one thing to watch for sure.
Okay.
If anyone wants to care about something, Phillies play the Dodgers all weekend. That's good series. Yeah, for sure.
5-1 Phils. We got 8-1 when that's over.
We got Yamamoto tonight, and and Nola maybe? Is it Nola and Yamamoto today?
I remember one last thing before we get to this video. Scotty's got it. When I was working at Nick and I go all the way back to KNOE, Northeast Louisiana. Nick was a feisty reporter from New York City, son of a cop who just came to Monroe and just turned that city upside down. I mean, he was at City Hall creating all kinds of drama. Anyways, Nicole Cross was doing the noon news, and they were always trying to like just force me to get. I was basically Nicole. I like worked for Nicole pretty much. So she was like, "You're going to be on the noon show with me today. What do you want to talk about?" She was like, basically like, if I'm here till 12:30, so are you, because we both anchor the morning news. And I was like, I got an idea. I'll talk about Aaron Nola's first. It was starting his first game because he played at LSU. It was his first start with the Phillies. And I went and they tossed to me in the studio. I was going to talk about this, but I didn't have my IFB in, and it was a disaster. And the whole thing. And so after the show, I go into Walter's office, our boss, Bob Walters, and he goes, if you had your IFB in, it would have stained your ass a little bit. It looked like a fool. All right, so let's show that fight real quick. This is what I'm talking about, by the way. Check this out.
Many have likely seen this video of an altercation at
Leave the sound up. That's fine.
Oh,
watch. That's how it started.
Learn more of this troubling situation with a non-airline employee being a former member of the Denver Broncos.
I mean, the guy spills over. I mean, the guy Langley, now apparently, he's got to stop it right there. The Langley guy was pushing a wheelchair with his luggage in it. So the guy was probably like, hey, bro, like, knock it off. Don't put your luggage in a wheelchair. And they had words. But then the United Airlines guy, who's like a quasi, like DJ Khaled, gets in his face and sucker punch.
Dude, my favorite is when they clap their hands and they're like the hands go up.
The first headline that did come up is charges were dropped against him.
Yeah, they were dropped against him. That's why it's back in the news. That was in 2022. All right, Nick Pick, you're the best. Next Friday, we'll have you back.
We're not going to talk until national title. So quickly, I want to say, go Duke.
Oh gosh, this guy. All right,
Cooper Flagg.
His favorite front runner.
Cooper Flagg is going to be the co-star with Victor Wembanyama next year for the Spurs. You heard it here first. Spurs are getting the #1 pick. They're going to end up with Wemby and Flagg and De'Aaron Fox.
I hope the next time we see you, Kelvin Sampson is the champion, and they will have beaten Duke on a Friday night. We'll see what happens. All right. That's why they play the games. Nick Pick, we love you. We'll see you next Friday.
Yes.
Have a prop bet ready.
All right, bet. I got that.
All right. That's Nick. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, talk a little bit about John Morant's insanity. And we'll run you a quick clip of the NIT and a heartbreaking loss. We'll be back after this.
Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today. At 25 Home, our ultimate goal is to provide you with a transformative experience, making each day feel like it has an extra hour. We believe your home is more than just a space, it's a sanctuary where comfort, relaxation, and happiness thrive. Discover the difference at 25 Home today. Shop now at 25home.com.
I need to get real excited.
Sure.
Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Sheridan Vasquez. And this is Sheridan Soundcheck Sessions. And I will be interviewing some of your favorite musicians and maybe some you've never heard before. Join me on Sheridan Soundcheck Sessions for something new every time. You can find Sheridan Soundcheck Sessions anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemediamusic.com. Yeehaw. And keep the music playing.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
Yeah.
Get paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. Want to turn your passion into profit? With Blogify, creating a blog has never been easier. Build, customize, and grow your site with powerful tools designed for beginners and pros alike. Start sharing your story today and watch your audience grow with Blogify. Visit blogify.ai today for a free 3-day trial. That's Blogify, BLOGIFY.ai today. Overwhelmed by your inbox? Clean Email is here to help. Organize, clean, and manage your emails with powerful automation tools. Say goodbye to spam and clutter and enjoy a stress-free inbox. Try Clean Email today at cleanemail.com. That's CLEAN email.com. Stay connected no matter where you are with eSIMX. Say goodbye to expensive roaming charges and physical SIM cards. With access to over 200 global carriers, we make mobile connectivity seamless and affordable for travelers worldwide. Join the future of communication today at eSIMX.com. That's ESIMX.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Easy Sun has been living fearlessly under the sun since 2016. Born from sailors' need for convenient sun protection, our mineral sunscreen is crafted with natural ingredients offering broad spectrum protection against UVA and UVB rays. Safe for your skin and the environment, stay protected on the go with Easy Sun, your ultimate sun care solution. Visit EasySun.com today. That's EEZYSUN.com.
Zach Burke's in the house complaining about Josh Hamilton. I mean, I would tell you that Josh was a sick guy. He was an alcoholic and an addict, and he never really recovered from that. By the way, no Josh Hamilton talk. I love Josh Hamilton. I hope he's doing great. And I truly do love him because when I was still drinking and using, I looked at him as a guy who like, oh, he got out of this. Maybe I can too. Although I'm not quite sure where he is today. But what's that? So last night I did the payoff with Pete with my buddy Mike Hagen, but I was texting Mike Hamilton before. It was 2 hours. So I'm pack a lunch. It's a great conversation. Josh Beard will be putting that up online here in the next week or so. I'll let you know when it comes out. Josh Beard, obviously, the Don of getting things together for the Payoff with Pete, stories of sobriety. So I'm pumped to share that with you guys. Some guy who I don't know. I mean, I don't think he needs to get sober, but he clearly needs some kind of change in his life. John Morant last night. Remember, John Morant was suspended for the first 25 games of the 2023-2024 season for conduct detrimental to the team after he brandished a firearm on social media. He's been warned not to make any gestures with guns. And look, here he goes again. The video is a little it's a little jumpy right now, but he did it again against the Heat last night. And I'm just going to read you the Associated Press article to let you know exactly where we stand, so it's not just me over here riffing. Memphis Grizzlies guard John Morant risked further action from the NBA after mimicking shooting a gun with his finger during Thursday night's 110-108 win in Miami, despite being issued a warning by the league for making the same gesture earlier in the week. Okay? Sources told ESPN's Shams Charania earlier Thursday that Morant and Warriors guard Buddy Hield were both issued warnings for mimicking shooting a gun during Golden State's 134-125 road win Tuesday. Sources say the NBA ruled the celebrations were not intended to be violent in nature, but were inappropriate. Okay, so I get it. Dude, I was a high school football player. I used to whip out a 6-shooter, right, when I got a sack sometimes because Tim Harris did it for the Packers. I mean, I was a moron. But, I also wasn't seen on social media brandishing a gun with millions of followers and young kids who looked up to me. Nobody gave a shit when I did it. That's the responsibility I think that some of these guys can shrug sometimes. It matters, dude, when Ja does this stuff. Now, let's get the context here. And I read it off the top, but the first Morant, 25, a 2-time All-Star, has twice been suspended by the NBA for brandishing a firearm on social media. The first incident occurred in March of 2023. That was on an Instagram live stream while Morant was at a suburban Denver nightclub after a loss to the Nuggets. The NBA issued an indefinite suspension that ended up spanning 8 games. Now, look, I am Mr. Forgiveness. You're young, you're rich, you're at a club after a game, you're wasted, you throw up a gun that you have. Maybe it's even registered to you. Bonehead move. Don't do it again, right? Don't do it again. People in your life have got to be yo, bro, don't do it again. Well, Morant was suspended for the first 25 games of the 2023-24 season for conduct detrimental to the league after he brandished a firearm during an Instagram live stream on a friend's account in May of 2023. That was the second time he did it. 25 games is a lot, dude. And not only are you now affecting your organization, but you're affecting people in your life and people who root for you. It's just a boneheaded deal. Brian Windhorst, do we have that sound, Scotty? Windhorst, who is obviously knows way more about situations like I do, or than this, more about situations like this than I do, had this to say. Let's check it out.
Look, you could have a debate and discussion about whether the NBA should be legislating hand gestures. What this is about Ja Morant sticking his finger in the eye of the league office, which is he heard what they said. They said, don't do it again. He did it 4 minutes into the game. In a situation, by the way, where his team had lost 7 out of 8 games and had completely lost traction and it had fallen to the play-in zone. He came into that game with the intent of sending a message to the league office. And that is just, I'm going to tell you something. One of the ways you can guarantee getting a reaction from the league office is by embarrassing them and trying to show them up. If you do it subtly, you can get in trouble. If you do it overtly like this, you're going to get in real trouble. And if you got a history of Ja Morant of listening to the league office, telling Adam Silver something straight to his face, and then doing the opposite a few minutes later, that's not going to be well received. And it is exactly the opposite of what the Grizzlies need when they're under so much stress right now, having a coaching change, having a losing streak, dealing with the pressure of all this playoff situations, and having a great moment where the Heat had won 6 games in a row. They go into Miami and get a great win. And now this is what the league and the team is now waiting for. Not who they're playing next, but what there's going to be in sort of adjudication from this.
So that's windy. So you hear it there. That guy's like NBA gospel. It's just a bummer. I hope he figures out what's going on with him and why he's doing that. Because at the end of the day, you're screwing your whole team up, dude. And you're screwing the fan base up. Memphis has been weird ever since, like, they operate. Ryan Russillo bangs his drum all the time, and he's right. They operate as though they've won like 5 or 6 titles, and they haven't won anything, you know? So I hope he gets it together because he's a fun guy to watch. I'm sure he's a decent dude, but like, come on, man, get it together. Okay, next thing, and this breaks my heart, and it's close to home because I called a bunch of these NIT games for ESPN just up until as recently as last week, and I had UC Irvine when they beat who the hell they beat? UAB to go to the NIT Final Four. Here is the last sequence of last night's game. Do we have it, Scotty? All right, let's pull it up. Chattanooga is up 1.
Hoist it deep. Cloyston, he does catch it. He dumps it underneath, the shot for the win. No! By Jurian Dixon, and Chattanooga wins their school's first ever NIT championship.
Let's do it one more time, Scotty. Can you run it back? Because on TV they let it
hoists it deep. Cloyston, he does catch it. He dumps it underneath, the shot for the win. No! By Jurian Dixon, and Chattanooga wins their school's first ever NIT champion.
All right, so that's a dude. Jurian Dixon was the for the Western Conference or the WCC, wherever Irvine plays. It escapes me. He was a freshman of the year, or a redshirt freshman, a really good player. He got the ball, obviously, with time expiring, and he just rushed it. It was a bunny. He just rushed it, and I think he kind of had to rush it to get it off in time. But what a heartbreaker. I hate seeing dudes. I hate seeing teams win on someone else's mistake or coming up short. Now, that was overtime. So the game was 45 minutes, right? So obviously Irvine had plenty of time to win the basketball game. And there were many other instances and sequences that led to them losing. But that, of course, at the most important time in the game, they lose the ball game. I could only hope. Now, Dixon is, again, a redshirt freshman. He had a great year, was freshman of the year in the conference. But, man, I see that, and I get so freaking bummed. I mean, one more time, here's the replay. He's right there. And the dude Leuchten, 7'2" guy from Germany, makes an amazing pass. I mean, amazing. Unfortunately for him, when he jumps, you can get an envelope under his feet, barely. The Leuchten dude, but Jurian Dixon just rushed it. So props to Chattanooga for winning the championship. Final Four, of course, coming up this weekend. Houston Cougars, I'm pulling for them. We're going to either have King McClure or Tim Welsh talking about the Final Four and the championship on Monday. We also got a budding star, Anna Camden, who played at Penn State and is a young sports broadcaster. She played against Lauren Betts in UCLA in the regional for the University of Richmond, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about the women's Final Four and the championship and that aftermath on Monday. So we got a big show planned for you. You never know. Hit that alert button and that alarm button. We just might join you with some crazy news over the week.
It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at 70 miles an hour. I was injured, had a concussion. The insurance company, they delayed. They were playing games from the initial conversation. They weren't going to help me. The biggest thing I learned through this is that you can't go through this alone. I called Daniel Stark. They were going to help me and everything was going to be all right. Daniel Stark got me 10 times the insurance company offered.
The difference is stark.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internext.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. At Acasis, innovation drives us. Since 2008, we've been creating cutting-edge technology products that make your life easier. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today. We are Rogue Media Sports.